a artist that we I don't think we've been able to talk about yet. Have we been able to talk about Fireboy DML on the podcast yet?
No, we did have a loyal listener who watched our Burna Boy Twice as Tall review in 2020 tell us about the second Fireboy DML album that was coming up that year, told us to get on board and listen, and we didn't take him up on his advice. And the joke was on
Wow.
us. But we are back for Fireboy DML's third album, Playboy, rising Afrobeat star. Already has a big hit, Peru, which got the big Ed Sheeran remix, and carving out his own space rather quickly in the global scene that is Afrobeats.
Yeah, it was really a pleasure to listen to Playboy, his newest album. I guess it's technically his third album, but first one that
Yeah.
we're able to talk about here. And for an artist that is so new to me and fairly young, he's 26, but had a few albums like we mentioned. I just felt like he was kind of finding something here where he was really using his Afrobeat sound but infusing other elements from other genres really well, and able to just kind of like explore his artistry in a really thoughtful sense. Even having an Ed Sheeran feature and not having it feel totally like phony or fake is quite an accomplishment. So I was like, yeah, you know what? And Ed's been playing around with the genre a lot recently. He's really
Mhm.
leaning into it. So, I mean, what did you think of Playboy though? Did you like it as much as I did?
Oh, I liked it a lot too. I was a big fan of Peru, which had been out like 6 months before he got the remix to it with Ed at the end of 2021. And I like that song a lot. And thus had just a lot of anticipation for hearing more. But I just gotta say, like, I think that Ed Sheeran feature is honestly one of his best in
Yeah,
in recent memory. Like, he really fits the vibe of the song, adapts the flow. I think really adds to it too, because you're removing the second Fireboy verse to add this Ed feature. But I don't know, I think he sounds really awesome on that, and it's just kind of funny to hear him like talking about like making a girl climax and stuff, which is basically what he's getting into there, you know.
yeah,
But it also really, I think it makes the Ed Burna Boy song that we got on Love Domini even worse because of how good his song with Fireboy is, you know? The song he
yeah,
just did with Burna Boy is such a sleeper, like Nothing Burger, right? But I
yeah,
think this song is like just a fucking banger, dude. I love this song.
yeah. Peru is a clear standout to me from the album. But Dave, tell me what other elements of the album really stood out to you.
Yeah, I think his overall like light nature of his lyrics really comes through on this. Um the second album is a bit more historical in terms of like Nigerian life, Nigerian culture. I don't know if you get that quite as much on this, at least from a lyrical perspective, but I thought a lot of personality still came through in terms of his his personal life. Like on what was it uh Ashawo? Yeah, I'm just making sure I get the right song here. On Ashawo, towards the beginning of the album, he like the hook there is so funny. He's like, if I cheat on you, I'm sorry. If you cheat on me, no
No
worries. You
worries. Yeah,
know, like I think the Playboy title is very apt for this, and he seems to do it pretty consistently. But I think melodically, like later on, like Compromise is just super catchy, especially that hook. And
hmm,
I think he does this like light feel really well.
yeah.
And when you also, by nature of making Afrobeats music, have this very intriguing layered production on these songs, his performance is like really uplifted by these beats. I thought on Afro High Life, those horns are like really noticeable.
Hmm.
On Timothy, the melody is very familiar. I could not place what song it was, but it's like I feel like I know this tune. Bandana, I think, also is another big one. And Playboy.
Bandana,
Yep.
yeah, Bandana really stood out to me because that chorus, it's such a well. First of all, it has those guitars that kind of lull you in at the beginning, but that chorus when they have like this like communal chorus come in where it almost feels like a whole like village or like town like singing together. It just feels so
Yes.
like triumphant, really beautiful. And you talked about that like toned down or like light feel. And I agree. Ashawa is like just like pure like lighthearted bliss to me. I think that's such like a wonderful jam on this. I can't find it in my notes here, but there's one song where he has like these guitars kind of just like come in out of nowhere. I think it's near the back half of the album. Do you remember
Mhm.
which song I'm
No,
talking
I
about?
don't. Yeah.
But it's like a really great moment. It might even be on the last one, Glory. Yeah, I think it might be Glory. But just was so impressed. Yeah, Glory. Sorry, I'm now remembering that it's like right in the middle. The guitars
Hmm.
really like kick in right after he gets out of the chorus. It's really great.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I was just really impressed with this, and to have another artist in this genre that just seems to be so confident and like popping in this sense is really exciting because it feels like a
Hmm.
genre that's just going to be dominating for the next decade or so.
Oh, for sure. And as we said before, everyone's eagerly awaiting the debut album from Thames as well
Hmm.
regarding this sound. Uh, yeah, I also want to shout out the title track, Playboy. I thought the chorus in particular is very catchy. And I just really liked his rhymes in the beginning of that, rhyming matting and mandem and
Hmm.
anthem. Like it's very catchy. Uh, yeah, and I think the Western musical community is in a place where more than one Afrobeats star can be successful.
Yep.
There's room for more than just Burna Boy, who's been popping for a minute now. And it's exciting to see people coming in through those doors. Fireboy DML did perform at BET. So uh, what I hope to see this this continue. And you'd have to imagine that the Peru remix with Ed Sheeran really exposing Fireboy DML to people that probably wouldn't listen to this music normally. You
Hmm.
hope that fosters more fans. That would certainly be the goal. But it's not. It's also not like a Craven feature per se. Ed has genuinely expressed his fandom and reverence for this music for several years at this point too. So yeah, definitely someone to eagerly pay attention to. I think that much is obvious.
Before we move on, I just wanted to ask you real quick. Diana had Chris Brown and Shensia on it.
Yeah.
What did you think of that track?
Chris Brown is a waste, like usual.
Yeah.
Uh, but Shensia, who I believe is Jamaican, made a
Okay.
nice impression there. I didn't love that one as much from Fireboy's point of view, but I thought Shensia was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought Shensia was great, and I agree. I think she kind of steals that song. Chris
Mhm.
Brown, kind of a nothing, like you said. And I just wanted to ask you more so for the Chris Brown strays here at the end of the review. But
Yeah.
um,
The people
I
know.
really, yeah, I really just wanted to also mention that because I think the artist that we're going to talk about in a second here also sees something in Shensia. So I think we're maybe
Mm.
catching on to someone who's a rising star here. But like we said, Fireboy DML. Playboy, definitely an album to listen to. We'll be adding a song to our Nowstalgia Best of 2022 playlist on Spotify. Check that out.